I do want to read some wisdom from the Halls Corporation. This is my current pet peeve with cough drops.
Yeah.
It says, "Let's hear your battle cry." Is what this one has to say, which is insane because one ought not do a battle cry when they cannot speak. Yep. Yep.
Welcome to the Content Mill, the show where for the first time ever, 5 creators from 4 corners of the internet all get together to talk about what we are making and what we are playing. My name, as usual, is Gianni. I will be your host today. And with me, as usual, are 3 of my, everyday normal co-hosts. They're cool, I guess.
Boring.
Everyday co-hosts. But we also have the very first Content Mill guest host. Welcome to the show, Jordan, a.k.a. Cognitive Clips, a.k.a. the Metroid Maestro. Welcome to the show, Jordan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy, so honored to be here. You all are, obviously, we know each other from Discord groups and everything like that, but this is the first time I'm sharing the screen with at least a couple of you, so this is awesome. This is very exciting. Glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us, Cog. When we were coming up, I think I told you this, when we were coming up with a short list, we're like, who are we going to bring on first? Who are we going to bring on first? You were one of the first people that we had in my Cog, so thank you so much for coming on.
When you export this to DaVinci, can you lighten up the blushing?
Yes,
That's what you're
absolutely.
making me do.
I'll give you a glow. I'll give you a nice glow. Yassify Jordan.
Yeah.
For people that don't know you, Jordan, and then I'll jump into my everyday co-host. No offense, guys. Sorry, but let's start with Jordan. For those that don't know you, who aren't part of the corner of the internet, the Content Mill ecosphere, tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do on the internet, and a little bit about Cognitive Clips.
Yeah, so Cognitive Clips is the name of my YouTube channel. I primarily do like video essay style content, occasionally do some little gameplay snippets or more review style stuff, but a lot of it is more video essay, kind of deeper dive focused. Been doing that for a couple of years now, and I also you may have heard me or seen me on the Drop In Drop Out podcast, where I'm one of the regular co-hosts over there as well, and that's how a lot of us kind of came to meet each other, was just meeting in these Discord groups and thinking, hey, that guy's kind of cool. I'll talk to him a little bit more. So, but yeah, it's been a really fun, journey. I think that, it was like 2023, like September-ish, I think, that I put my first actual like essay up on YouTube, and it's been fun kind of learning and growing and doing more of that as the years have gone on. So excited to see what this year's going to bring.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember first getting into the Dido community, the Spotlight Games community, the JK Games community, and coming across your video essays and some of your long plays as well, and just being like, I got to sync up with this guy. You know what I mean? Some amazing video essays. Make sure you go check out Cog. Neck and neck with the next homie on the panel, and that is my other co-host here, Phil, Mr. 70% Complete. Phil, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Today's performance is brought to you by Halls, the Cough Drop Corporation.
Oh.
I'm doing great. I do want to read some wisdom from the Halls Corporation.
Nice. Yeah, so pep talk.
Yeah, that we can work through as we go here. This is my current pet peeve with cough drops.
Yeah.
Is let's see here. It says, "Let's hear your battle cry." Is what this one has to say, which is insane for a company that is selling cough drops. Because one ought not do a battle cry when they cannot speak. So, yep. So I'm doing
nursing
great.
a sore throat. Halls. How do you expect me to battle cry?
Just sounds like that video of the turtle humping the shoe. Just
Oh my god, it did. Holy shit.
That was actually really good. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I've practiced. No, okay. Cut that.
The shoe part or the turtle sound?
Yeah. Both.
Oh my gosh, too funny. Well, you'll hear all about our sponsor of the show, Halls, here later in the middle of the episode. Thank you, Phil. Eric, aka Mr. The Human, aka Mr. The Human, plays over on Twitch. How the hell are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm I was dying for like 2 weeks, but we weren't recording, so it was okay.
Worked out.
Yeah, no, I'm doing good. We're chilling. Finally getting back in the swing of things after like having a week and a half off of work and like just not being productive for that first week back.
Yeah.
So
Most of the second week.
Yeah,
yeah. No,
exactly.
literally,
Yeah.
today was the first day. Today of recording is the first day I have felt productive, and I've been back to work since like the 5th.
Yeah. And it should be noted, this is our first recording of the new
Yeah.
year. So this is the first time we're all kind of getting together after the holiday. So it's been cool.
Uh-huh.
Last but certainly not least, he's back from the North Pole.
I am.
Nate, aka Heroic Headgear. How are you doing, my little elf friend?
I mean, I'm doing all right. It's definitely less magical here.
Yeah.
Okay, my time in the North Pole it's changed me.
Sure.
I am not an elf. I can confirm,
Oh,
but I have been accepted as one of them.
Okay.
So I do
Okay,
have my
congrats,
North
man.
Pole elf ID card, and I will be going back because
I mean,
it's just great here, But
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the first week of being back stateside, I got rear-ended. You know who are better
Oh, my
drivers?
God. In the
Elves.
sleigh?
I never got
my-
rear-ended in the North Pole.
yeah.
Then you weren't doing it right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clearly. No reindeers and bumper to bumper traffic over there, Nate?
Judging by your hoodie, you were also up there spreading democracy.
Oh yes, I did. This is a favorite. It is cozy.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
awesome. I clocked it. I was like, ooh, I want to wear that.
Well, welcome back to the U.S. of A, Nate. We are glad you're back in just slightly less cold temperature than the North Pole.
Barely.
Of course, we have a very special episode planned for today. Today, we had to bring on the expert himself, Jordan, the Metroid sicko in the community, because for the first time ever, 3 of us here on this podcast have played Metroid Prime, our very first experience with Metroid Prime, and we had to bring on Jordan to talk about his experience with the franchise, what we should be looking forward to, our own takes on it, what we loved, what we didn't like, what we think could change. But before we get to that, I do need to jump into our run-of-the-mill housekeeping. Not too much here for you today, but I do want to reiterate that prior to the holiday, we did record our most anticipated, our game of the year, our holiday memories, and we got a whole bunch of new content coming for you as well. Eric, our Discord master, if you will.
Yeah, there you go.
Tell the people why they need to go head over to the Discord, what we got going on over there, and some of the sweet content we got coming out of the corner of the internet.
Well, as of today, actually, it was as of yesterday. It came up early. Was the Animal Crossing update? So
Yes.
pretty soon there's going to be a new corner going on. By the time you hear this, there will be an Animal Crossing corner happening. So lots of the try to recreate the one good thing of quarantine of 2020, which is a bunch of Animal Crossing posts. So that's probably on the horizon. Aside from that, it's just a fun place to hang out. Lots of chill people. Tons of people just flocking in, and whether you're from Uma's or from Dark Souls or from a video essay or 3D printing helmets, like there's tons of different communities in there. And if you want one for yourself, come join the Discord and let me know. And if you'll use it, you can have it.
The world is burning.
I can say.
Go ahead, Jordan.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm already interrupting. It's only like 5 minutes.
God.
I can say with confidence that corner of the internet is the Dark Souls of Uma Musume Discord groups.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, confirmed.
Yeah, not wrong.
I'm gonna need that on the headboard. That's
Put that on the masthead, dude.
yeah, that's a
the
that's a good
headboard.
one. Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
all right.
let me put that in the description as we're speaking right now.
Dark Souls of Umas.
Yeah.
Too funny. Yes, the world is burning down, and all the homies are talking about Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard that story before.
No.
I don't think that's ever happened in history. But yeah, make
And
sure
we're
you come
all
over.
sick. Weird.
and everyone's coughing and hacking up lungs.
Huh.
What's that about?
No one wants to go outside. Yeah.
if you don't already, make sure, like Eric was saying, make sure you come over to the Corner of the Internet Discord. We've got a corner for everybody, within reason. Obviously, there's something there for everybody and anyone. All are welcome. So come make sure you hang out with us. The link will be in the description below. But enough of all that. It is time to talk Samus Aran, ladies and gentlemen, and NBs. It's Aaron. Samus Aran. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about.
Off to a great start.
We're off to a great start. What is this game about? No. So yeah, we were kind of in a space over the holiday where we were all chatting, and obviously Metroid Prime 4 just came out here in December, and it was kind of like one of those moments where we were all like, none of us have ever played Metroid Prime, so what was like the temperature check on checking out Metroid Prime 4? So we thought it would be a good reason to kind of all have our first experience with Metroid Prime. In this case, Metroid Prime Remastered, unless anybody pulled out their old GameCube copy of Metroid Prime. I think everyone played Remastered, which, Jordan, I'll be curious to kind of get some info from you on some of those differences and some of the tweaks that they made between the old version. But before we kind of jump into our reviews and our first time experiences with the game, I do want to kind of go roundtable, starting with you, Jordan. What's kind of like your high level history with just the franchise at whole? Just kind of a brief history with the franchise, and you being the expert, I want to hear from you first.
Yeah, I've said something along these lines on other content before, but I have an older brother, and so he got a Super Nintendo when I was too young to really remember. So I literally do not remember a time in my life when Super Metroid and Super Mario Kart and Zelda: Link to the Past, I don't remember not having those in my life. So like my entire life, basically, that I've been cognizant clips. I've been playing Metroid. So Super Metroid is in frequent rotation back then. And I remember being skeptical when Metroid Prime was first coming out because I was like, it's 2D, it's not supposed to be 3D. And then, of course, they knocked it out of the park, in my opinion. I don't know what y'all think yet, but I will soon. And so, yeah, I was just telling them before we went live, Metroid Prime 1 was my most replayed game. Not like most hours total, but just most replayed, campaign or whatever you want to call it. In my gaming library up until Metroid Dread came out in 2021. So I've stuck with the franchise. I've played and really, really, really enjoyed Metroid Prime 4 as well. But we'll get to all that, I'm sure. So yeah, so as a shorter answer, 30 plus years of digging Metroid.
Awesome. Have you played all of them?
I haven't played Hunters, the Metroid Prime Hunters. And I didn't play Federation Force because that one shouldn't have existed anyway. But I have played at least a little bit of all the other ones. I think the only one that I haven't actually rolled credits on, aside from those, is like the original, like for the NES.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah, it is. I played they ported those. I don't know if y'all remember this. They ported them to like Game Boy Advance. They had like a whole line of like
Zero
classics.
Mission.
No, not that. I played them
the NES remasters. Yeah. That's
so they brought that. They brought the original Zelda, and so I picked it up and I played it, but I didn't actually roll credits on the true original. But I did beat Zero Mission a million times too. So
yeah.
Phil, what about you? What's your history with the franchise?
My history with the franchise starts with chatting with Jordan. Actually, I've never played a Metroid game before until I think middle of last year. We had started talking for a while back and forth about like, as part of the whole like pivot to horror and like trying to play out all of these different genres and things that have just completely passed me by. Metroid has been really high in that list. I mean, also Castlevania. Like there are plenty of classics that I just simply have not touched.
Yeah. And
Jordan and I got to talking about like, okay, like I want to see what this is about. Like, where should I start? What should I do? And around the same time, I had got one of the RG35XX SP by Ambernick. Yes. It's the Ambernick like Chinese emulator. It's good. It looks like an SP.
They rip. They're awesome.
It's fantastic.
Allegedly.
But I, as a person who'd never played Metroid before, the like small form factor was kind of like what I wanted to hop into. So I played think I played a couple hours of Zero Mission, and then I realized today after I had started playing Fusion again, I think I got probably 2/3 of the way through Fusion the first time I had played it. And then unfortunately one of my top games of the year, Blasphemous, took me by the hand and said, "No, you need swords and bloods and guts." So I went down that road. But I played Prime Remaster for this. It was actually going to be a prank. I was trying to get
That's
Jordan.
right.
It was.
I was trying to get Jordan to come on the show, and we were all gonna do the hey, why do you like this game? Like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And then grand reveal that I had actually finished Metroid Prime Remastered for him. But you know,
I fucked
was
up the
a part-
bit. I fucked up the
fucked
bit.
up
All
the
right?
bit.
I fucked up the bit. I straight up messaged Jordan. I was like, "We've all played it. Come on the show."
I was like, oh, that was that screenshot Phil sent me 2
Yep.
days ago. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
No, the plan was to like you were gonna talk about it and be like, and me and Phil were going to like pretend that we didn't know what was happening, but like say something that was so correct about the game that you would have been like, yeah, that does happen.
They must have watched my lore video on my
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I messed it up. I'm sorry. We'll save that bit for another guest. So don't tell Patrick. Don't tell Patrick.
I won't. Let's just see.
Johnny, you're the one. That...
Oh, that's right. I'm the one. Ah, shit. Well, Eric, since you're up, well, tell me about your history with the franchise.
It goes back to a little game called Super Smash Brothers, where all these cutesy characters, and then there was a fucking metal man that I was like, wow, that's real cool. What a different character. Oh, and it has a blaster? Very cool. And then come to find out that it's like a 6'3" metal muscle mommy, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And then like a couple years later, I get a Game Boy Advance, and I was like, oh, Metroid. Okay. And then I buy Zero Mission, and I buy Fusion, and I didn't click with Zero Mission, which now I understand as an adult that was like the first one, so that's why it didn't click as well. But Fusion, I was terrible at, but loved. I played the hell out of that game. I never beat it as a child because it's hard.
And it's kind of horrifying.
It is. So. But I loved it, and it's great. And then I have played I haven't like beat every single one, but I've beaten Fusion. I've beat Super Metroid. I've beat Dread. I've never touched a Prime game. That was the only thing. So I've touched all of the other ones. I've got hands on all the other ones. So I love Samus, and I want that to be known. I fucking love the Metroid franchise.
He's prefacing.
Letting you know.
He's
and
laying
Samus,
the breadcrumbs.
And Samus, I think, is one of the most underutilized characters in media, and has the potential to be the coolest character that Nintendo has, and it's not utilized as well as it should be. So that's my experience with Metroid, was basically being very similar to my experience with Fire Emblem, where Smash Brothers, I was like, what the who is this character? Because you look at everyone and you have like Mario, Pikachu, Donkey Kong, Yoshi,
medieval warrior.
Yeah, you have with blue hair. But this is in the original. Then you have Link, and then like all this, and then you're like, who the fuck? Who has the arm cannon? Who is this? And like, and then you do the up B, and it's the coolest shit ever. And you're like, who is this character? And then obviously, Smash Brothers has always been very good about what the the little info you can get on each character,
trophies,
and being like, and being like, whoa, okay, this is sick as hell. And then finally having a system that could play a Metroid game, because there wasn't one on the N64. It just completely skipped generation. So I do love the Metroid franchise, and Dread was my game of the year. It came out, so like I absolutely adore that game. It's incredible.
Nate, what about you, my friend? What's your history with Metroid?
Oh, you're gonna love this.
Oh boy, here we go.
So similar to Eric, Smash Brothers, of course. I think Samus is probably my main. Like, if I am gonna pick up Smash Bros, I'm gonna play Samus for the majority of the night. But other than that, Other M is the only game I have fully played in the Metroid franchise.
I will say, so obviously it's like not quite meme. It's more like just it lives in infamy kind of thing for the franchise and stuff.
Yep.
I will say though, like, and I've kind of thought this for a while actually, that it's not a bad game. Like, it's a fun game to play. It's just that it was
12-year-old me loved it.
yeah,
Very important. Very important.
so much older than you. That makes me sad. I was like 20 when that game came out.
Yeah.
And I remember liking it.
Yep.
It wasn't like until after credits rolled and I sat with it that I was like, those are some choices that they
was
made
the
narratively. Like,
that was the introduction of Zero Suit, right? Like where you could actually play as Zero Suit, or was that in another?
that was
game?
Zero Mission.
That was Zero Mission has Zero Suit. Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of like why they call it Zero Suit. I'm pretty sure because it was on Zero Mission. So there's I guess. Oh yeah, you said you didn't beat it, so y'all.
I didn't get very far in that one.
Yeah, I'll just tell you. So like, once it gets to the part of that's like the actual ending of the first game where you like escape the base, it's blowing up. Classic. They tacked on like almost like an epilogue kind of thing.
Oh, cool!
It was kind of cool. Where
I gotta
like
go back now. That sounds dope as hell.
her ship gets shot down, and then her suit malfunctions. So all she has is just her Zero Suit. That she's like, you have like it's
The whip and the pistol.
It's not the whip, but it is a pistol. They kind of added it. They made it a whip for Smash Brothers, but which is awesome. I love Samus and Zero Suit and Dark Samus are all in my like, rotation. But yeah, they had Zero Suit Samus and Zero Mission, and then of course you regain your suit at like full power, and then you wreck the place on your way back out again. But that's where it came from.
Love the art direction on.
Jesus Christ!
What? The art?
I already said muscle. I already said muscle
art.
mommy earlier. It's fine. We can be fucking transparent. She's
art.
6 foot. She's tall. She is as tall as me, guys. That is insane.
She'd be like the
she is.
second tallest person on the podcast then.
Yeah.
The second tallest.
Yeah.
Second
6'11".
Yeah. Well, my history with the Metroid franchise really kind of starts and ends with the very first Metroid. I remember I've told the story before, but my grandmother played games from time to time. We had an NES at my grandma's house, and aside from the legendary game that is Star Tropics, one of the earliest games that I remember playing was the original Metroid. I remember the title treatment. I remember the music. Like I remember all of it. Outside of that, though, once I moved on from the NES, I really had no Metroid history. And I always say, like, once we kind of got to, because obviously we skipped a generation with the N64. Once we got to the PS2, Xbox, GameCube line, I went in the PlayStation and Xbox direction, and my brother went hardcore into the Nintendo direction. So he's like Jordan, has played all of these Metroid games. He's got like a long standing history with the Metroid games. And that is just something that I completely missed. But kind of like what you said, Eric, it was always one of those things where I was like, why is this character not a tentpole mascot for Nintendo?
Right?
Because it just screams mass appeal that I just feel like it obviously has Metroid has a huge fan base. But I always wondered why it wasn't one of the quote unquote big three. Why wasn't it up there on just like the pedestal? Why was Metroid not on the pedestal that I think it deserves? And obviously I'll have some thoughts here after the Metroid Prime review as well. But it like I said, starts and ends with the original Metroid. And now I've kind of come full circle. I'm more into playing more Nintendo games now that I'm looking at these games a little bit more critically. So it's been exciting to kind of rediscover Metroid now, 30 plus years later. It's really, really, really neat. So
that's awesome. And I love that they have you can play the entirety of the 2D saga on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like as long as you have the online or because they've got all of them on there with the online subscription with the NES, SNES, and all that. So it's that's how I go just replay them almost every year, pretty much. Every year or two.
Yeah, absolutely. But now I want to jump into Metroid Prime specifically. Like I mentioned earlier, this is me, Phil, and Eric. This is our first time playing Metroid Prime. Nate, I know you've got some questions for us as well. Jordan, I don't know how many times you've played Metroid Prime in the past, but this is our first time playing through Metroid Prime, specifically the remastered edition. Just some facts here on the Metroid Prime franchise. Obviously, the original Metroid Prime came out in 2002. holds a Metacritic rating of 97, with the remaster sitting with a Metacritic rating of 94. We had Prime 2 in 2004 on the GameCube and the Wii with a Metacritic of 92. Prime 3 in 2007 on the Wii with a Metacritic of 90. And Prime 4 in 2025 here in December on the Switch and Switch 2 with a Metacritic of 78. So a little bit lower than the 3 games preceding it. I'm sure we'll jump into maybe some of the reasons why that could be. But for the most part, the Metroid Prime franchise as just kind of a 4-game series so far, very, very highly regarded. People love Metroid Prime. So I want to jump into our roundtable review. I'm gonna start with you, Cog. What are your thoughts on Metroid Prime specifically? What's your what's your review of Metroid Prime?
Yeah, it is like my number 2 game of all time. It is truly special. Again, I played it pretty soon after it came out. There was an ice storm in our area as a kid, and I'm thinking getting my years mixed up with memory being fuzzy and everything. But there was something that insurance company was basically like paying us to clean up all like the fallen limbs from the trees and all this stuff. And so like my brother used his money to buy an Xbox, and I used my money to buy a GameCube bundle that came with Metroid Prime. And so that I was just like completely obsessed with it at the time. And I think I like drove my friends crazy. Like, have you played this game? Have you played this game? And the answer was always no, but I kept asking them anyway. But yeah, it's truly special to me. Again, number 2 game of all time. Whenever they announced Dread, I went back and I tracked down a used Wii on Facebook Marketplace and a used GameCube disc for the game and like replayed it that way. And because I played it so much growing up, I think I got like mid 90s percentage as far as like the item collecting and the scans and stuff, because it was like muscle memory kicked in. It was
Wow.
So yeah, that's the level of devotion that I had to this game.
Okay, so you're the perfect person to ask this question. How much changed between the original and the remaster?
So not as much as you would think. They updated some of the character models as they normally do. But as far as the actual like gameplay stuff, the only thing that the biggest change was just adding dual stick movement. So what Gianni was reading off a moment ago, actually the Metroid Prime 2, it came out before the Wii. It was only on GameCube at first, but they released they released a trilogy disc. So I think it was 2005 that 3 came out, and then 2007 that 3 came out, then 2009 they had like a trilogy disc that was also on the Wii, and so that added motion controls for the first 2 games that were present in the third game. And I was showing Gianni something earlier. I don't know if you wanted to roll that for any reason for them or not, but there's a couple things like cutscenes that differed between regions. I think that I forget, is one of y'all might know, is PAL, is that the Americas or is that like Europe?
That's Europe.
PAL.
Okay, so
PAL.
yes, the PAL version had like an opening narration. The American version didn't have, and the PAL version had a different cutscene than the American version did for getting the final suit upgrade. And the American version is like 6,000 times cooler. So then but they kind of consolidated things for the remaster. And so the remaster only has the one united version of it. And it's the PAL version. So I was like, that was lame. Why'd she just, why did she do that? And not the cool thing I remember as a kid.
I thought the final suit upgrade, right, is what you said?
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking so anticlimactic. Okay,
Yes.
that makes so much sense. I was just like, I looked away for like a millisecond from my screen, and then I was like, oh, we have a new suit. What the fuck? What? I was like, how did that happen?
Gianni can testify. The American version is like
I'll put it in the
sick.
B-roll for the for the video. I'm having trouble pulling it up, but
it is so cool.
I'm gonna watch it right now. I'm gonna look it up myself. I'll do it. Do it on myself.
Dare you? The only thing that I can think of different than that is so as well as the cutscene, there were also slightly different versions of the lore, like the scan data that you would get between the American version and the PAL version, that I think they either tweaked and or consolidated some of the stuff for the trilogy disc, and then that carried over into the remaster as well. So like, but overall, I mean, that the remaster is like feels like home, for lack of a better phrase. It plays and feels just like I remembered it as a kid, but just somehow even better looking, because that art direction holds up, y'all. Like, I swear, even playing the GameCube version in 2021 still looked really cool. Like, still felt good to play.
It looks a little less smeary in the remaster, but like it like really does it does the perfect thing of, this is what I remember this looking like in my childhood. I feel like I see those and I can see like, oh yeah, this is the same game. They just kind of glossed it up and looked nice.
Yeah. I think the one exception to that is that they did some really cool, especially for the time, lighting tricks in the original version, where like when you would hold your charge beam and like walk down a hallway, like the charge beam would kind of illuminate the hall a bit. But they kind of did away with that for whatever reason for the remaster. I'm sure it just had something to do with like the coding or the, some sort of technical thing that would go over my head. But people were complaining about it, but that's not new for the internet, so whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Phil, what are your thoughts on Metroid Prime?
I am very mixed on Metroid Prime. I liked it. I think I guess my very top level logline with how I feel about this game is that I constantly had to remind myself that it was a GameCube game. And there's a lot of stuff that when I remember that it came out before the first Call of Duty did, changes how I feel about some of it. And like that, I mean that in like a good, like they were ahead of their time kind of way. And also revisiting this in 2025 makes it a little bit just like frustrating in some ways, like really silly things about like switching the beams up and like the Rock Band style hand origami I need to do to like hit the right things.
This one you just press the direction. With this one you hold a button and press the direction.
And if you don't like that, you can switch that too. And it doesn't help.
Love that.
So I think it's like a lot of like little tiny quibbles that would just add up over time. And then also I came into this game, I think, with the fully wrong mindset. Like, this is a game that, and I will point to Jordan's most recent video about design language and like understanding what games are trying to tell you and how to play them. I didn't think that this game was going to be a notebook game for me, and I didn't have the time to do that, so I played it with a guide side by side. But I think that if I were approaching this as just like a fun leisure thing that I wasn't playing on the train between like work, I would probably be sitting down with a notebook to play this, because there's a lot of things that normal games would put objective markers on, or they would put little flags on to remind you that this thing is here. But because of how cool the map is, and by virtue of that, how difficult that map is to navigate sometimes, it meant that I just kept forgetting the things, and I would just like, I wasn't lost. I was just standing in Magmore Caverns looking around and being like, I'm pretty sure I've been here before, and I know there's an ice beam door around here somewhere, and I need to go find it, but I really don't remember where it was. So I just would spend time doing all of that stuff. But that said, I had a blast. Like, it was fun, like running around. Like, the puzzles were good. Like, I enjoyed like you take the lore of the morph ball out of it, and I had like a fun time of just like zipping around and being kind of goofy. I'm a sucker for scanning things, which is fun. I did miss some pretty pivotal scans, which is unfortunate for me. But I think like ultimately I had a good time with it. I have some weird 2002 problems with it, but like at the end of the day, it was fun. I do kind of wish there were less enemies at the end, but other than that, I had a good time.
What was your how long to beat on that, Phil?
Let's see here. It says that I did it in 13 hours and 56 minutes, which doesn't feel right. but allegedly that's the case.
Got it. Were you,
That feels right for
Yeah.
a first time.
I'm pretty sure that my Switch end of year recap had me closer to almost 20, I think. But
interesting.
Based on how long ago you started, 20 hours sounds about right for you.
yeah, that's what I
Like,
thought too.
Yeah.
The way that the Metroid games typically do like the in-game calculation of stuff, like they don't typically count like pausing, and if you die then that like resets the time, so like
Oh,
that
yes.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that could be part of it.
Yep.
Some games don't. Like, I mean, I'm playing through Octopath Traveler 0 right now, and it's like you're in the pause menu, and the timer is just like ticking
Just
up and
ticking.
up and up and up. But like, from how many times I didn't really clock this until I didn't really clock it until I was playing Dread over and over and over and over and over again. But yeah, like that's how speedrunners can, still kind of get their bearings. If they get turned around for a second, they can still just like stare at the pause menu as long as they need to, and then it won't count against them in the like end game clock. So
That's cool.
Gotcha. Eric, what about you? What were your thoughts on Metroid Prime?
So I posed that question earlier of like what changed, right, between remaster and the original, and that was basically a dialogue tree for you, because saying that not much changed paints this game in a much better picture.
Yeah.
If I was, this came out in 2002, if I was 9 years old, maybe even 8 years old, depending on what exact month it came out,
November,
I would
I
have.
think.
Oh, my birth month. So
There you go.
9 years old. I would have devoured this game and loved it. Right? I would have been like, "Oh, this is the one." I couldn't play Fusion and Zero Mission because I'm too stupid. But this one I could have figured out because I've just always been better with 3D space and navigation and stuff. So yeah, put me back in 2002. Would have loved it. This would have been great. I still enjoyed my time with it. The controls were not my friend ever. There was very many times that I was like, yeah, why is the button that I need to hold to change my weapon? And then I would go into a morph ball and get hit, and I'm like, God damn it. Like so many times.
Yeah.
There was multiple times I'd pause the game, look at the controller, and be like, there's things on this controller that do the same thing. Why can't I click into the analog stick to do something? Why is that not utilized? Like there was so many things that I was like, if they changed things to make this better, I'm upset because they didn't. But knowing that it came from one of the amalgamation of the GameCube controller, which is, a good controller for the games that it was made for, right?
Well, do you know what the original control scheme was?
Probably not good, I would imagine,
because it actually is an option in remastered to do it the original way, but the GameCube didn't use the C stick for like movement. It used it to switch beams, I think.
Oh fuck, that would have been
so it was literally, it was
much
like
better.
You used tank controls,
yeah,
like Resident Evil style. The D-pad changed your visor, the C stick changed your beam.
Oh,
like there was no dual stick controls up until the remaster for Switch. So like that is actually a control option.
I'll have to try that,
one,
but that does sound better. But I did enjoy my time. I thought the environments were super cool. I have a lot of issues with the upgrades up until the plasma beam. I thought that was literally the only one that was worth it. Because everything else still died the same amount of time until the plasma beam obliterated things in like 2 shots.
It's so satisfying too.
It is. I was like, so when those stupid fucking
is that the last
pirates,
one?
Yes,
yeah.
Okay.
Those stupid fucking space pirates showed up and were color coded. I was like, no, I don't want to use these other weapons. Like, so there was a lot of frustrations and stuff like that. And fuck the Phazon mines. I lost 40 minutes of progress in that.
Brother,
I died right in the room right before the save because there's a boss in that room that's invisible. And you don't have the X-ray thing yet. So fuck you. Like, that was terrible. But I think the world is cool. I love Metroid. I don't think I'll ever touch this again, kind of thing. I might try it again now, knowing that that control scheme. I might give it just a try to see how that feels. But yeah, I beat this in 11 and a half hours. So I got through it pretty quick using a guide and stuff. And then once I hit like 140 missiles, I was like, okay, I'm just going to ignore everything else and go to.
This feels like a good number of missiles to have.
Yeah.
I'm a Metroid veteran. I know that's enough. I know that's fine. You know, like,
Yeah.
but the big thing that I had issues with, and I think this is where I'm like, they should have changed more for the remaster, is like, you look at like Dread, which came out a couple years before, and the most satisfying thing about Dread is that you haul ass in that game. Like, you move. And in this, you felt like a robot. Like, you felt real slow. And also, I literally was like, in the boss fight, the final boss fight, one of the cutscenes when you jump into the hole and she does a flip jump, I was like, well, that's a fucking tease. We didn't get to do that once.
Yeah.
Like,
Where was my flip jump?
where's my flip jump? Where's my wall jumps? Like, where's my stuff?
Yeah.
So we'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk about it a bit later, but I just feel like they missed the mark on what this could have been. And instead of like, I think they did a good job translating a 2D Metroid game into a 3D Metroid game, but I feel like doing that completely walled them into what a 3D Metroid is, instead of being like, there's so much cool shit. Like, Samus Aran should just be the first season of The Mandalorian, where she just shows up as the ultimate badass and just like wrecks shop and solves people's problems.
Yep.
And then goes back to her ship and gets another mission, and she gets to pick like, okay, I'm gonna bring this blaster in and these weapons and kind of thing, and go back in. And like, there's so many cool things they could do, but they're limiting their stuff. I'm very curious to hear about Metroid Prime 4 to see how that is, where they just kind of have just like got themselves stuck in this, like, it has to be a 2D version of, or a 3D version of our 2D games, instead of just being like, let's do something completely different. But I did enjoy it. I'm glad I played it. I don't think I'll play another one, but maybe. Like, that's where I'm at, kind of thing. I sent a GIF as like, because Gianni was like, hey, how are you guys feeling? I was like, I'll send you a reaction gift. And the two I sent were Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm being like, and then also Brittany Broski being like, well, and that was me the whole time. I was like, oh, that was really cool. Oh my god, this control scheme. Oh wow, look at this cool environment in this puzzle. Oh my god, why is this happening? Why won't these fucking what are the final Metroids? Not the boss, but the ones that split. I wanted to.
Oh my god. Oh,
those things should
and
not.
you got a type match too, which is also another thing.
Fission Metroids. Those should not have been in that last room.
Yeah, those were annoying. Power bombs, y'all. Come on.
I know. I did do that. I figured that out.
Maybe that's
No,
I
power
ignored
bombs,
them.
absolutely.
I simply jumped past them.
same.
I did that once, and it knocked me off 3 times, and I wanted to scream.
You should have,
because
Got power through it.
yeah, it was. I was like,
Wait.
why did this all of a
Hold on.
sudden become a Dark Souls 1 run back? Like, what the actual hell?
Go for
Like,
it.
yeah.
Halls, our sponsor,
Halls.
they say
That's our
go
sponsor.
for it.
Yeah, no, I'm okay right now. I'm over it. I got through it. But yeah, I like there was a couple times where I was like legitimately angry, and it was that room and the phase on mines. Like, that 40 minutes between save points, I was like, this is 2002 to a fucking T. Like,
Dude,
why did
like,
we do this?
Dude, that got me multiple times in 2002. Like, that is still like a nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
obviously now I'm like, I can breeze through it on normal mode, but like it so many bad memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, you said normal mode. What did we play on, guys? I played on normal mode.
Is there a
I
baby
also played on
mode?
normal.
There is a baby mode.
I played on baby mode.
Okay.
Proud of you.
I was like, face
Yes.
on mines. Like, what are you guys talking about? I had like
Yeah.
13 of 14 energy tanks at that point. I was fine.
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah. No, phase on mine's absolutely
Now, honestly,
dog walked me.
the thing that got me, and this is the stupidest thing to complain about in this game, you know those fucking beetles that when you're a morph ball, they just pick you up and
They grab
just,
you.
like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
they
Yes.
walk right up.
those fucking things. It took me forever to figure them out the first time I came across them.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
I think that's another thing, Cog, that I probably had as an advantage was I do have, like, when I see a certain type of enemy, I can be like, I know exactly how to kill this thing, because it's just it's a 3D version of the 2D one.
You can't
kind of
kill
things.
them, right?
Yeah,
You
you drop
can.
them. You drop
You
a
can-
bomb.
Yeah,
Then,
you can
then
lure
they
it
grab
with
the
a
bomb
bomb.
instead.
They eat it and they blow up.
Yeah.
See, I kept trying to kill them like you kill the Metroid, or get out of the Metroid where they pick you up and then you bomb them, and that didn't do anything. And I said,
Yeah.
well, I simply must do this in one shot, I guess.
Yeah.
But I figured that out on accident, and it got to a point where, like, when I kept trying to recreate that strategy, I couldn't do it as frequently. So I got to a point where I'm like, well, I mean, they're slow enough to where I can kind of maneuver around them. So
now you just throw that bitch in reverse. You just go forward, throw it in reverse, and then the power bomb's there, and they eat it, and it's done.
Yeah.
No break.
The first time they get you
put
is
them in
fucking
reverse.
hilarious, though. When they just like they grab you and then take you back to the entrance. It's just like,
It's in the revolving fire room, right?
Yep.
Yep.
it's so
Fuck
funny.
those guys.
Guys, here's my thing with Metroid
yes.
Prime, and you know what? I'll just get it out the way. I really liked Metroid Prime, like really, really liked Metroid Prime. Like you guys, I had a lot of situations where I was like, "It's an old game. It's an old game. It's an old game." But like in my opening like 6-7 hours, I was like, "Holy shit! Where has Metroid Prime been my whole life?" You know what I mean? Like it's really, really good. So I really enjoyed my time with Metroid Prime. Everything you guys said about the control scheme, I felt the exact same way. Everything you guys said about, like, I think my biggest thing was I just left this room 30 seconds ago, and now there's a full squad of pirates there again. And it got to a point where like the backtracking then became a chore once I got to like hour 9, hour 10, hour 11.
You just reminded me of something too. Yeah. One big fix for this game would just be like when I fucking blow up a door, it's just blue forever now. Why do I have to keep switching
my gun? Yeah.
Like I feel like that would be great. Yeah.
But I think aside from like the respawn rate and then the doors, because that was also a really frustrating one. I did start to have some issues with the platforming once you got to the sunken frigate. And like but that, I think that was just a me problem, like timing the tentacles and specifically that one stretch where you're kind of like going up the elevator shaft.
That was supposed to be tricky because you didn't have the gravity suit yet.
Yes. So anytime I'd have to go through there, I'm like, fuck, I'd rather go the long way than have to do that portion again. Like once I had unlocked everything. But other than that, like I thought the bosses were really I specifically liked the plant one. Flagra.
Yep.
I really liked that one.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Classic.
My first encounter with the ghost Chozo. What are they? Chozos?
Yeah,
I'm bad with
Chozos.
names. I'm really bad with names, Jordan. So just you're gonna learn this about me.
You're good.
Did you scan them?
I did.
Okay.
My first encounter with the ghosts was really cool because I realized after the first time I encountered the Chiozos was in the boss arena for Flagra.
Oh yeah.
They do show up there. Yeah.
And I encountered them again like an hour later. And what I realized was I could have completely done it in reverse. But the way I encountered it with Flagra was I figured out the puzzle to go back up the elevator or that like that magnet track.
Yeah.
And you go to the top of the magnet track and the ghost Chozo is just like there in the hallway.
And like, then when you go through the door. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, I got the chills. I was like, did this just become like a horror game? Like, what the hell is going on? And it completely caught me off guard. And that moment felt like, man, like this is a cool moment. I had no idea that was coming. And then you really had to be like strategic. That's when I kind of learned like, oh, wait, no, bring it back to basics. You have to bring it back to like the original Buster Cannon or whatever it's called. And kind of like hit him with the big blasts. It was really cool. I loved all those kinds of encounters, with the exception of the stone rolling guy. Fuck that guy.
Oh really? I like that.
I
one.
did not like that encounter.
Like, dude, he's awesome.
I do not like that encounter. But I think a part of it was because I couldn't figure out the strategy for a minute.
Yeah. I did have to face tank a lot of hits from that guy.
Yes. And I think I was just like, come on. I'm like looking at I'm like, come on, dude. Like,
yeah.
But other
You
than
had
that,
super missiles at that point, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the trick.
Yeah, I think so. So like that one took me one try, but it took me like 30 minutes to beat that boss. It took me like forever to beat that boss. So that, all that aside, I think the environments were really cool. The exploration was really, really fun, especially when you kind of like hit a flow state where you do start to memorize where things are, and you're just like kind of just cruising through rooms, and it almost feels like a speed run, like you're kind of just like going from point A to point B. That said, it really fucking sucks when you go, oh, I think I have to go to this place, and you go to one side of the map, and that's not the place that you need to go,
Yep.
and you're like, oh my god, dude, I gotta go all the way back. I think another thing that really, it took me a while for it to click, but once it did was like, I forgot to mention, I did play Dread on stream. Jordan, you were in a couple of those actually.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier last year. I did play a little bit of Dread, which Dread didn't stick with me the way I wanted it to, but I might end up going back to it after this experience. But I remember somebody was in my Twitch chat and was like, the way the game is designed is if you get a big collectible, you're designed to stay around. Yeah, it might have been you, Jordan. Yeah. You're kind of designed to stay around that area.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what kind of clicked for me, because I kept like backtracking to go, oh, let me go find these like puzzle pickups and extra items. And I would forget, like, to progress the main story, I kind of have to be around the area where I picked up that main, gadget or upgradable item or whatever. And once I figured that out, it was just kind of smooth sailing from there.
Yeah.
Metroid is designed in a way, at least the 2D ones. I'm assuming this one was as well. I just didn't do it this way because I was like following a guide. Because very funnily, you were mentioning about that flow state. I felt that in the Chozo ruins. Like, I was like, you spend so much time there. I was like, oh, this place is great. I never had to look at the map when I was like, but never anywhere else did I feel that way. Like everything else, I was like, where am I? But Chozo ruins, I'd rip through there and I was like, oh, this is great. But Metroid games are kind of designed to, you'll just kind of naturally progress from boss to boss to
it
boss.
kind of like ushers you into the direction that you're.
And then once you have everything, that's where the sickos can go back and get everything. Right.
And I think that's where I messed up was I was like, I need to go. Oh, I remember that one thing. Let me go all the way back to the beginning. And then I would be like, fuck, like now I got to backtrack again to where I think I need to be.
Which is why all Metroid games need to implement what, Jordan, from Prince of Persia?
The little screenshot thingy. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Or the Shinobi, the damn Shinobi map that we love so dearly.
Yes.
The map. A map is the backbone of a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have a good map, you're like screwed.
Spoiler, I guess, for
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, that's pretty much a Metroidvania. I mean, honestly, it is like the Metro Prime 4. It doesn't have like a screenshot thingy like Prince of Persia does, but it does have like a marker system that like Dread does.
Good. Take that,
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
See, that was Oh, sorry.
No, go for it, Jared.
That was what I was gonna say. It was like kind of what you were just hinting at, because obviously some of your listeners may not even know who I was before I popped onto this. So like my recent video that I think Eric just mentioned was design language for both Blueprints and Metro Prime 4, and I used the Metro Prime 1 as an example to kind of like really more easily illustrate things before I broke it down into the more recent games, because like you beat Flagra, that plant boss that gives you your Varia suit. You can't go the way you came. You have to go the other way. And then you fall down, and the next room is the elevator to the Magmore Caverns, which you couldn't get to, or you were going to get hurt if you had gone there without the suit that you just got. And so it's like, you can still explore, like you're saying, Gianni. Like, if you wanted to, you could go, oh, wait, there was like a lava room in the Chozo ruins I could go look around in now, and then you'd be mad at yourself because that you needed a grapple beam to get across there. But, that's the point. But, like, the game it's not... There is a hint system. I don't know if y'all ever implemented that or like turned it on in the settings or not, but there actually is a hint system in the game.
Yes.
But even without that, you beat this boss, you get this upgrade, then like within a couple of rooms of where you are, there's gonna be like, it's gonna try to usher you very subtly into like the direction where you're gonna be needing to go to either use that, or at least at the very least get to the next boss and get the next upgrade, which was like something that didn't really click with me growing up. But once I watched I think it's Game Maker's Toolkit has a really cool video about Dread and how they did that. And I was like, wait a second, they did this for Metro Prime 1 as well. What really tripped me up, I think the example that I used in the game, in the video, that you get the boost ball in Phendrana Drifts, you had to go back down to Magmore Caverns. And like, I assumed for the longest time, and I did this a million times, was like I had to go back through Magmore Caverns up to Chozo Ruins, and then from Chozo Ruins back to the Talon Overworld to use the boost ball and the little half pipe.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just go to like the other hallway in that same big old like, open area in Magmore Caverns, that leads you to an elevator to Talon Overworld, which comes out right at the half pipe. So it's like, man, this is like, it's so clever, it's so intricate, the way that they did this, and future spoilers, quote unquote, as I like to say, for the rest of the Prime games, is that they kind of did away with the more centralized nature of the Prime 1 map, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just like they have to kind of work that into more like localized, I guess, within the region. They'll still do that kind of stuff, but I do miss being able to kind of make those connections and go to the different regions that way, instead of having to go to like a central location, or in Prime 3 like jump back in your gunship and head to the next planet instead, kind of thing. The way that they interconnect like the one giant map in Prime 1 is like a masterclass. So I love it.
Yeah, the map design was really cool, and I did have my fair share of like those moments where I'm like, I mean, and it'll tell you like this, oh, you're heading to this part of the map now. But even then, I think there was a couple of those Talon Overworld ones, especially there's one that drops you like right behind the drop ship. And I was like, oh shit, I'm like at the beginning of the game again. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of like that Dark Souls moment. I was just like, oh damn, like I'm back here at the beginning of the game, you know? I think another thing too that like, I don't know if anyone else had this experience, but the whole game, I was like, when do I get that fucking grapple hook? When am I gonna get this fucking grapple hook, dude? Every room, I'm like, I need a grapple hook. And every time I get like a new pickup, I'm like, oh, here we go, getting the grapple hook. And it wouldn't be the grapple hook. And I'm like, oh my God. So I was like taking mental note. So when I finally got that grapple hook, it like opened up the world in like a way that I didn't experience for the entire game. And it was so funny. So satisfying. Like I finally got the fucking grapple hook, man.
What's so funny for me is I had an opposite reaction to the grapple hook. I like recognized all that stuff and all the jumping and stuff, but I was like, man, I can't wait to get the screw attack in this game. That's gonna be real cool. That shit didn't happen. No. I was so mad because the best feeling in every 2D Metroid game is when you get the screw attack, you just become a god. All of the backtracking no longer an issue because you just buzzsaw through things. And I was like, this is going to be so cool to see in 3D. That'll be so interesting to just fly, basically. And then I was like, and I was like, oh, we'll probably get it for sure. And then they're like, the gravity jump. And I was like, oh, man, that was it.
Not as cool as you think?
They implement it in 2 and 3 to varying degrees, and like, but not in the same way. Like they... because of just the nature of like the 3D map and stuff, and like the way that the Prime games don't really utilize any sort of sequence breaking the way that the 2D games do. Just the nature of it, I guess. Whatever they talk about it briefly in that Metroid Prime trilogy art book, which is beautiful, by the way. If anybody wants to check that out. But yeah, they introduce it in the second game, and they're like, yeah, like we can't like. The way that this code is, like, we can't have the gamers like breaking this game the same way like that they can a 2D game, just the nature of a 2D versus a 3D space, and so they limit it to like 5 jumps, I think. So you can't just like hover around and just like chainsaw everybody.
Are you basically invulnerable though when you do the screw attack?
I think so.
Okay.
And then like there's some like wall jump sections, and you know that looks kind of cool because it pulls back and you're like it. Yeah, they still made it look kind of cool, but it doesn't. It still looks a little bit strange.
Yeah, that was something I had a thought to the pullback. Right, I thought when I beat this game last night, I literally like turned to my wife and I was like, I need to say some thoughts out loud so I can work these through for the podcast. And I was like, does this game need to be a first person shooter? Like, does it have to be an FPS? Would a third person perspective be better to be able to feel the because that like the platforming would have been a little better. I did find in the settings that there's a setting for Samus to look down when she jumps.
That was like
the original, right?
That was automatic in the GameCube version.
Because 3D platforming was like not a like first person platforming was not it back then. But I had a thought, and I was like, it was like a brain blast. I was like, what's one of the coolest things about 2D Metroids? Oh, you get a new suit, and you just get to look at Samus in that new suit for the next couple hours. And then in this, it's just the blaster and
the ball. Well, the morph ball.
Yeah.
I got excited every time the morph ball would change colors and start
Yeah.
glowing in a different way. I was like, oh, it's like fucking green now. Like,
but
you know what
I
I
was
mean?
just like, man, I wanna see these cool suits. Like the Phazon suit is like one of the coolest suits I've ever seen in a Metroid
really
game.
is. Yeah.
But like you only get it for like 2 hours. Like, like it's not that long, and you don't get to see it very often. So I thought that was a very interesting where I was like, oh shit, that's an issue I have. I don't get to see cool ass Samus. I just see the visor and the blaster, which the blaster changing, very cool. Loved that. That was a great touch. Yeah. Like I don't know if they
there it is.
Oh,
That's good.
When you pop on that motorcycle, you can just stare at the suit all day.
Yeah, exactly. The suit, that's what we're looking at,
The
right?
suit.
Not her shiny metal ass.
Actually, no, they don't really accentuate Samus's ass. I'm sorry.
No, I know. That's why I said shiny metal.
We
ass.
can't really get too into that because I have some questions about the physiology of Samus when they do the pull out at the end of the game, and it's just her with her helmet off. You're like, those shoulder joints don't line up with human physiology. She's
that has been talked about. Believe me.
Yeah.
Okay. She shares more in common with a space marine, like body build wise, than a human being. I
And
think.
along with that, the ball. Can I get just some lore dump on how does this giant woman turn into a ball?
How does that work, dude?
Please.
Yeah, answer.
The most agreed upon answer is just space bird magic.
Chozo.
Yeah, Chozo magic. So for any non-knowers, because they don't really go over this in Prime, but like the backstory for Samus is that when she was a child, like her space colony that she lived at with her parents was attacked by space pirates led by Ridley, and like she was like the sole survivor, and the Chozo like came across her and like kind of adopted her, and in order to help train her and allow her to use their like technology, including like the power suits and stuff like that, then they infuse some of their DNA with hers. So she's like technically got like, you know, space bird DNA in her. And that's explored a lot more in like the 2D saga. But
not to cut you off, Jordan, but did the Chozo lore exist prior to Prime, or was this the first introduction of Prime?
Nope. That was introduced in Prime, which was really cool because, again, like, you know, growing up, I would know a little bit. Like there's the Chozo statues and Super Metroid, and occasionally they will be like false and they'll like come to life and attack you, and it's still terrifying to this day.
It is very scary because I never remember which one is like gonna come alive. I'm always just like, oh fuck, it's this one.
But what's just fun, like not even like in-game lore, just like actual real-world programming lore, was that they wanted her to be able to go through tight spaces, but in the NES they couldn't find a way to like reasonably and like in a way that made any visual sense make her crawl, and so they just had her turn into a little ball to roll around in. And so that's why there was like I think it was from either the Wii or the Wii U, like one of like the Miiverse type of like messages or whatever that's gone viral since then, of like, why can't Metroid crawl? I don't know if you've ever seen that meme, but like,
I think
That's funny.
Amazing.
I'll give Phil a fake space horror reason. She turns into jelly when she gets turned into the morph ball. Does that work for you?
I mean, I was thinking Pocket Dimension. That feels like the way they always do it, but I do like Samus turn. It's like goo Samus. Gooamus.
Goomus. Yeah. She turns into a goo, and she's just a sentient goo in there. And then when she comes out, her body is actually goo all the time.
Yeah, it makes sense.
In the suit.
That actually
she's in
explains
zero
things.
suit.
Of course.
Yeah.
Except for the head. The head poking out, that's not goo, but
That's
everything
just
below
normal.
that.
Well, when the stuff comes off, it materializes.
So when she morphals, it's just literally her
Obviously,
head
yeah.
inside the
I just
ball.
pictured like a bunch of goo like crawling on the floor, and it's just like a regular Samus Aran head. Like,
Yeah,
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 Morning.
yeah.
that's
On our way to the water
Yes.
cooler. Just-
yeah.
that's Metroid
But-
Fusion, right? That's what that's all about.
yes.
Basically,
that's
Yeah.
it. That's how she fused.
Yeah. Yes. The sacks. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Play Metroid Fusion, by the way. Holy shit, that game is good. And one of the most linear Metroid games. If you just kind of like don't divert, it always just drops you off in the next spot you need to go to.
That one was GBA, right? Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
Yep.
It rips.
Did that come
It's
out
beautiful.
around the same time as Prime? Like, did it have?
Same day.
Same
Oh, it
day.
was the same day.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Same day.
That's cool.
Which-
So was it
yeah.
tied to it from like a story perspective?
No, but you could
No?
use that GBA link cable to the GameCube to unlock the fusion suits in Prime.
What?
Jeez.
That was probably
You
the
didn't know that?
coolest thing.
No, I didn't
yeah,
play
that's cool.
Prime,
duh,
bro.
duh. Sorry.
I've only played 2D Metroids.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
Wait, I have to see this right now. Are you kidding me?
I think there's a way to do it in the remaster, or maybe not actually. Sorry, don't quote me
No,
on
somebody.
that. Never mind.
2 years ago, am I the only person genuinely disappointed? There's no Fusion Suit in Prime Remaster. I
that's
am.
right.
I'm extremely disappointed now.
Well, as
Wow.
you all are pointing out already, the physiology of her in the Prime suit was already like kind of wonky. It was worse with the fusion
Yeah.
suits being like more like organic
Blobby.
and not like as yeah.
Yeah. This
But
is
she
not
is just-
great.
She's a space marine. Like
Yeah.
she has non-human DNA spliced onto her. Like
Yeah, the 2 and 3 and especially 4 did a lot better job making her look like she could be like a humanoid person and not like a not a what's his face Dom from Gears of War. Just like,
Yeah.
Nate, I got a question for you. I'm gonna get you off the bench, my guy.
Wow. Okay.
Where are you at? Are you in the space to like? I want to check out Prime. Do I check out Prime 4? Where are you at?
I
with all
might replay Other M.
this? Okay.
you could.
All right.
All right, hang on. Speak on that. Tell me more.
yeah.
Tell me
Don't
about that.
Well,
don't put that out in the world. And
Listen, I do have my Wii in my garage still, and I'm pretty
And-
sure the copy might be in the system.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get some
really liked
STLs
it.
for Samus helmet too. So you better be careful. You might
know
be
what?
signing yourselves up for
It's a good
Samus
helmet.
March.
Yeah.
I might have to.
It's so funny because critically the Other M is not poorly received. I think it has around the same within a couple of points around the same score as Prime 4 does. If somebody wants to quote me on that or check me on
So
that.
79 on
yeah.
Metacritic.
Yeah, so or roughly, within a couple of points. And again, the gameplay itself is pretty solid. It's just like the way that they kind of curb stomp Samus as a character is why like the fandom generally like dumps on it. But like the game itself is not bad to play. And Eric, you may or may not know this, but like so in Fusion you have the ship AI that's like talking to you and guiding you along or whatever, and she has the realization that it's like her old commanding officer's consciousness uploaded into an AI. Like you're interacting with her with that guy when he's still alive in Other M.
Yeah. John Malkovich. Yeah.
Close.
Wait, John Malkovich is in Metroid Other M?
His name
Adam.
is Malkovich.
Adam
it's-
Malkovich.
It's
Adam.
Malkovich.
Oh God.
But isn't it way funnier to think of the other?
It
way?
is.
That's good.
You have to fight the Metroids, Samus.
Metroids. Oh, that's going on TikTok. That was
Gianni
going on.
died.
Oh my lord.
You killed Gianni.
Oh my god. Well, actually, you know what? Here's a good segue. I was gonna wait until the very, very end, but talking about Metroid Other M, Nate, perfect segue here. Metroid Other M, 79 on Metacritic, developed by Koei Tecmo. Oh, sorry, Team Ninja. Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
Developed by Team Ninja.
Well, that's
I had a
cool.
little lightning round prompt for you guys here for the end, but I think this is actually a good segue for it before we jump into the final section of today's pod, because I have a couple more questions for Cog. And this is my question I want to ask you guys, because I know I have an answer, and none of you guys are prepped for this.
No.
But I want you to start.
I'm
get
afraid.
your brains moving.
I'm
Get your
so
brains
excited.
moving. If you know me, you might know where I'm going with this. But here at the Content Mill, we like to We like to well, I've said this before. We're dreamers here at the Content Mill. I say this all the time. Everyone knows this about us. Okay, we like to dream over here. Knowing that Team Ninja developed Metroid Other M, you're handed the keys to the studio. Nate did a really good job building his ultimate Predator game.
Okay.
I want to know who you invest the money in. Which developer, which studio do you hand the keys to and say, make me a Metroid game? What that game would look like.
You know, there's been a lot of talk tonight about Marcus Phoenix and Dom and the gear stuff. Give it to the Coalition.
Oh yeah, fucking walk and
I
talk do-rag
I
cover
think-
shooter.
A pop and stop Metroid. Yeah.
Samus and a do-rag, dude.
I want to keep the same Mountain Dew energy a little bit.
Hell
Do it,
yeah.
Give it to id and let me share as Samus.
No, there it is. Forget
needs
mine.
to, like this game in first, if you want to make it first person, it needs to be fast as hell.
Yep.
I need to be my side dodge needs to cover 25 fucking feet. Like I need to be
There it is.
moving. And like things need to be like double the enemies. Give me their quarter of their health though. Like let me just rip
Mow
through.
through.
Enemies. Yeah. Like let Samus. Like one of the things I didn't mention was some of the notes you read in the space pirate bases is basically these people fearing for their fucking lives because Samus Aran is on the planet.
Yes.
But I never felt like that. Like I never felt that powerful until I got the plasma cannon. So I want to feel that powerful from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I want them to
every beam got to be cranked to 11.
100%. And like let me just rip through a game with Samus Aran not talking, very similar. Let her be a little smarter than the Doom guy who's just like punching shit to move forward. But like no lines because
It's not very hard, but
there are very few times in the most popular versions of Metroid games that Samus talks. And when she does, it is one of the most powerful moments in the game. Like she is very she is basically selectively mute for most of the time. And when she does talk, it's really fucking important. And you could make such a cool game just ripping and tearing through like a literally this game. Like you could have just made exactly this game, but just have it like just so fast paced and everything like that. It would have been sick as hell. So
I think about a quarter of her voice lines in Other M are the baby, the baby, the baby, the baby.
And that,
Yes.
and that's why it's a 79.
I was just about to say
Too many of the baby.
how cool Other M looked as I watched the trailer, but I think I might take it back now.
I guess
No,
yeah.
Jordan, you know the moment I'm talking about in one of the Prime games
Yes,
when
I
she
do.
talks, full body chills. Like it was the coolest moment of the year that I played that game.
is it because it was profound or because it was like, oh, she's talking, like everyone shut
she
the
didn't
fuck up?
speak for the rest of the fucking
Got
game?
it, got
it
it,
was
got
the
it, got it.
one
Yeah.
time, and I, as somebody who's mostly played, I haven't played like, I played most of the 2D games where they were all like text. Right, there was no actual voice lines. So to play, because I skipped like the 3DS remakes and stuff like that. So to play it, spoilers, is Dread, where there's actual dialogue, right, and there's noise and stuff like that, and like for them to have a voice line in that moment it was so fucking cool. Because I was like,
It was
yeah,
very
Samus,
good.
Samus doesn't talk. Like
It
she
caught me
doesn't
off guard. Like I literally thought that it was like a voice coming in through her comms. I was like, "What? Oh, it's my girl." Okay.
Yeah, it was sick. Yeah,
It's so
play
good.
play Dread. It's so fucking good.
Please do.
That game is incredible.
I'm gonna give it another shot. I don't think I gave it its fair shake, and now having really, really enjoyed my time with Prime, I do plan on going back to Dread for
All
sure.
right, other developers.
Phil, Jordan, what do you got? Anything good?
I got two.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. I still need to.
All right,
a moment.
you digest. The first one, I want to see Crystal Dynamics do it. Yeah, like go like 3D platforming, like go the Tomb Raider games and the most recent ones. And the one that I'm actually thinking about is the canceled Perfect Dark game, which had a lot of the like gadget cool action stuff going on in it, but I want to have it slower. I want to be like rooting around in the files of Omega Base. Like I want to see all of that stuff instead of just kind of corridor shooting through, but like picking up Perfect Dark style stuff and like getting those gadgets, I think would be fun. Or fucking tomb raiding in some Chozo ruins.
Yeah, you just gave me like a little like, what if in that scenario it is a zero suit based game where only occasionally you have enough power to like use the power suit kind of thing, where it's like most of the time you are very vulnerable, but then like so that way you are getting gadgets to like survive, and they're very simple gadgets, but you have to be smart, and it shows that side of Sam. See, this is what I'm talking about with Samus. There's so many fucking things that you could do to make her so sick. Like
I think I can't remember if you said Crystal Dynamics, and I thought you were going to go a different direction, because I think either they were also involved with this game, or like as like a code developer, or I'm just confusing because so many studios have like been shuttered recently because the world's on fire. Eidos Montreal, give me like the Deus Ex, the more recent Deus Ex games, like with like, because Jensen's getting his upgrades and he can turn invisible and invulnerable and do all this crazy stuff with his like his augments. Like give me that with Samus.
I like literally when I finished this game, I messaged Eric and said the one thing that I wish this game had was more emails to read. Like I want to read the emails and I want them to solve puzzles. And totally.
That's a little dip into being friends with Phil. Those are the type of messages you get. I want to read emails.
I want to read emails.
8 out of 10. Not enough emails.
Not enough emails.
No, but yeah, that was kind of like the bounty hunter thing that I mentioned earlier. I want to be able to like customize Samus, right? Yeah. It's been the same. Like they add like maybe 1 or 2 new tools per game. But for the most part, it's like you get the morph ball, you get this blaster, you get this blaster, you get this suit, you get this jump, you get this. And sometimes they mix up the order and you're like, whoa, I can't believe I got this before. I can't like that. That's interesting. But I'm like, yeah, let me do some customization, and having like a full on Deus Ex like customization tree would be insane.
Because fun, super cool backdrop for folks who don't already know. So in Super Metroid, you're going back to the exact same planet, like the destroyed base from the first game, and Prime 1, 2, and 3 all take place in between Prime 1 and 2, or sorry, Metroid 1 and 2. So like you're finding these all the emails and everything from the pirates are talking about like, oh, we've just suffered our defeat at Zebus, and now we're like, our tails are between our legs, we're running, and oh crap, here she is again, like. Which implies that Prime actually takes place like pretty shortly, like within probably a couple months, if not shorter than that, after the first game. There's that planetarium room, which was like looked really cool. Yeah. The puzzle is dope, and you can scan all the planets. One of those planets is Zebus, so it seems like it's in the same solar system as Talon 4, which is kind of dope. But in 1 and in Super, the first thing you do, like when you get down to the base, is you go to the left and you get the morph ball, like within like 5 seconds of starting this game. And so to Eric's point, I was like playing Dread. I was like,
yeah, dude,
where's my morph ball? Like, why is it taking me like 45 minutes to an hour to get this morph ball? What is happening?
But how sick was that though? So like sick. How different was that? Like,
so weighty.
Yes. So, okay, that I wanted to ask this about Prime 4. I always knew that, like, weirdly, Prime 1, 2, and 3 took place, like, way in the past, basically, in the, in the Metroid timeline. So is 4 canonically after Dread now? Like, are we finally out of... Okay.
No. They've I can't remember who it was, somebody from Nintendo, I think. I can't remember if it was from Nintendo or from Retro, but somebody gave an interview with them. Obviously the game's only been out for a month and some change, but it takes place after Super, but before Fusion.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
That is such a weird thing that they keep doing. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Like they're throwing it between games instead of just letting it live as its like furthest timeline. So Dread is still the furthest along currently.
Yeah. Okay. And honestly, I don't mind that, just like as someone who loves like the entirety of the series, has played them all, because like just I don't know, the 2D games can kind of like have their own storyline, and then the Prime games can have their own storyline. Like when you include Hunters and Federation Force, like all 5 of the games that have Prime in the title that are like actual like 3D game's not a pinball game, are all kind of like within the same story. Like Silux, who's like the main enemy from like the trailers and in Prime 4, he was introduced in Hunters and he like had a cameo or something in Federation Force. But 4 kicks off like its own like new like story arc, and so like that's something that I've told people as well, is like if you have the means to play Prime 2 and Prime 3, like absolutely, because they are a lot of fun. They're really, really good. Clearly they were received well critically. All 3 of the original trilogy have like 90 or above. They just haven't, there's been so many rumors of them having remasters to some degree, to some level of 2 and 3 for the Switch or the Switch 2, but they've never officially said anything about it. But if all you're worried about is like, oh, well, I get lost in the story, the answer is no. Like Prime 4 is its own like brand new story arc. So like you could theoretically like tonight hop off this, StreamYard and go pick up Prime 4 and play it, and you wouldn't be lost. Like you like, okay, there's a guy and he's shooting at me, and so I need to shoot back. So.
I think that's where I was at, because I was like, I think I'm of the, I rolled credits on Metroid Prime Remastered, and I was like, this has made me want to play Metroid Prime 4. And I know, Jordan, you and I were messaging when 4 came out, and I was kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of piqued my interest a little bit. Maybe I will check it out. I think this kind of solidified it for me, where I'm like, I mean, I got a flight tomorrow. Like I might download Prime 4 and check it out. You know what I mean?
Because to Eric's qualms, it's not going to be your dash sends you 20 yards in the direction, but like like the gameplay is very similar to 1 as far as like just the core mechanics, but like it does feel snappy, or it feels faster. Like the combat, like there are it's not quite like it's not like one hit KO kind of thing, but like there are instances where you are getting swarmed by like more enemies than you would typically expect in these games, and you are having to kind of like fight them off. So again, it's not sawing them in half and punching them in the face like Doom or anything like that, but it is like a bit more.
God, wouldn't that be cool though? You guys seen the Godzilla from 2014? Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
No.
I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
The ending where Godzilla beheads somebody by blasting a fucking atomic breath through the throat. I want to do that with the fucking plasma gun. Like,
that's what Dread's for, man. All those. So
I know. I fucking know, bro. I know.
She has a lot of what do they call it? Like aura farming.
Yeah, bro. She aura farms so hard in that game. It's so good.
There is some serious aura farming in Prime 4 as well. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
But the green crystals, Jordan. The green crystals.
Oh my god.
Green crystals are just the artifacts from this game.
Crystals.
Thank you.
Oh,
that too.
How many artifacts did you guys have left once? Wait. Before I even get to that question, is the hint system you guys were talking about, is that when it's like you'll be playing for a little bit and then all of a sudden it'll be like,
idiot, go here.
Data scan reading or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, I just had that on. I didn't realize that was like a setting. Okay.
Yeah, no, that needs to be on.
Yeah, the default is on, and your first time through that's I would recommend it. Yeah.
Okay. How many artifacts did you guys have left when you got that final, like, you need to collect all the artifacts?
Like 8.
8?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay.
I got
6.
I got to the point where I had like a decent amount, because there's how many? 12?
12.
Yeah, I probably had less than that, maybe. I know that like I waited until kind of the back end, and then I was like, okay, this guide is telling me that I'm going to get the next 7 of them immediately.
Which guide did you use?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't think I used the IGN guide, but maybe I did.
I did. It was okay. It was fine. IGN's a terrible fucking website that reloads randomly, but
I do hate
otherwise
that.
it was fine. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because some of those fucking pages are long, and then it reads all the way back at the top. Oh,
yeah. Like while Phil's looking that up, obviously I know you're just like goofing a second ago, but like this is not me dumping on Ralph from Skill Up, because I really do like him. I like his channel. I like Friends
He's
Per Second. All that. Yeah.
I watch him religiously.
Yeah. And just his video just made it clear he's not the only one that's complained about it, but it just it seems like he just did like this is why I combined these two games in my video was like he did for Metro Prime 4 what I did for Blueprints, which was just ignore and overlook all the in your face like, hey, by the way, you should be doing this because like this is like the opening like 30 minutes of Prime 4, so it's not really spoiling anything, but like you
Right.
have your first like interaction with like the hologram of the ancient race or whatever, and they're like, here, touch this ball of light and it will transport you to our forest and you need to find our temple, and that will kick off the journey to get the things you need. And then you go to that temple in the forest and there's another hologram and it's like, here, we need this thing, and to get this thing you will need green crystals that are scattered throughout the planet.
Yeah.
And then in Ralph's video he's like, I didn't know I needed those. I'm like, what do you mean?
They're telegraphing it.
An altar came up out of the floor in a cutscene and told you where to put these things. What do you mean you didn't know you needed them?
Yeah. And it's so funny because like your video on that exact thing is what kind of clicked for me in this playthrough, because I was kind of that same school where I'm like, I went to the wherever the artifacts were housed.
The impact crater.
The impact crater. And they were like, oh, you found X amount. You could scan all the different pillars. And I was kind of like, oh, maybe these are just bonuses. Maybe these are things like, oh, you can unlock some crazy cool weapon or something.
Yeah.
But then as I was scanning more things, and they were saying, all right, well, the ancient evil is under where those artifacts are. Like, oh, well, they're housing something down there. Oh man, they're actually it's a prison for whatever's down there. We don't want it to get out. I'm like, okay, clearly these artifacts are crucial for my playthrough. It's not just some bonus thing. So at that point, I was like, all right, any room I'm in, let me make a conscious effort of looking for the Chiozo kind of statues, because that was always the signifier, is there might be an artifact in this area, with the exception of the one that's in the column in Magmar's a Pokemon. Magmar. With the exception of that one, they were for the most part. So that was kind of the indicator. Your video kind of tipped me off of like, no, like there's probably a reason they keep bringing up all of these artifacts over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And
Gianni, did you find them all on your own without a guide?
I had 6 left when I got that final notification, like, now you need to find the artifacts. I had 6 left. I was able to find, I think the Magmor ruins was the one that I just could not, because if you go and scan the pillars, it'll highlight in green, like, oh, it might be in the research. The miners are researching something in this part of the map, and you kind of just look for a map portion that says research facility or research lab. There was one in the mines where it could have been any combination of a few rooms, which I think was the research lab, because there's like Omega research lab. There's like different research labs. But yeah, the only one that I just could not figure out was the I think it might have been the Magmor ruins, was the one in the pillar that you had to blow up the pillar. Yeah.
I don't think I ever would have found the one that was on top of research, where you had to look out the window and shoot the explosive tanks.
Oh, no, that was the one.
Okay.
That was exactly the
one.
That
was in Fendrana Drifts. Yeah. Because you had to melt the window.
Yeah.
I had a suspicion that there was something going on with those fucking pillars, because I was like, why are these here?
Yeah.
like
I kept shooting the top, and then I'm like shooting the middle, and then I'm like, okay, is it the other rocket? Which rocket am I supposed to be using? And I had even gone into the one where you explode the boxes to get the viewpoint, and I still could not put 2 and 2 together. That was the one I had to look at, Phil.
Yeah. No, I just followed a guide for all of them. I read the hints and I was like, I think I know where this is. I'm not gonna waste especially because I didn't get to start playing this till like this last weekend. Like I literally just beat it yesterday, so I was like, I'm on a fucking time crunch here. I could find these things, but I don't have the time. Again, if I was 9 years old, I would fucking love searching for these things. But
we're adults.
Guides are our friend. Yes.
Yep. Last thing before we get out of here, guys. There's 3 endings that I looked up. I don't know much about the endings. There's a quote unquote bad ending, a good ending, and
Excuse
then
me?
like 100% ending. Jordan, what can you tell me about those?
Yeah, so the quote unquote bad. So it's just you see Samus standing or like on her ship watching the destruction of the crater or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in that ending she takes her helmet off, but you don't actually see her face. And then and the second the middle one, she takes it off, you see her face. And the 100% ending, which is what makes the Prime trilogy as a whole like pretty dope, is so as you recall, the inner essence of Metroid Prime like kind of like lashes out at her, kind of like disables her phazon suit as she escapes with like what they call the gravity suit. So she flies off, and then the 100% ending, it zooms back into that like puddle of phazon where Metroid Prime just was, and like a black armored hand like shoots up out of the pool with like a weird like eye in the middle of it. Which of course you start Metroid Prime 2, and within the first like 30 minutes you encounter Dark Samus, and that's how she was born, or it was born, whatever you want to call it.
Gotcha.
Was combining phazon with like Samus's DNA and from the suit and stuff. So it was almost like another version of SAX, but
I was gonna say,
it was
yeah.
very, very, very cool. Like
Yeah.
throughout like Metroid Prime 2, there's like multiple boss fights against it. Same with Prime 3. It was really awesome. Like I love that whole dynamic, and love that they added it to Smash Ultimate. Because can we just talk about Smash Ultimate for a second, guys? Because
Yeah.
their attention to detail is actually insane in the like most affectionate way possible. Because there's 3 different versions of Link, right? Toon Link, Young Link, and then Adult Link, right? I think.
Yep.
The Adult Link is the only one who swings his sword with his right hand, because they switched it to right-handedness for the Wii and then kept it for like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. The younger versions of Link are left-handed, so that's awesome. For Dark Samus,
That's
she
crazy.
Samus, when she's charging up her beam in Ultimate, she'll like brace her
does the
arm.
brace.
Dark Samus doesn't, because she's like some ethereal
Super
being.
human.
And then also like whenever you do like a back dodge with Samus, she turns into a morph ball, but Dark Samus doesn't. She just like glides backwards in like a quick way. So it's like they pay so much attention to detail in that game, and it's awesome. Like I clocked that when I was playing. I was like, they didn't need to do that. They could have just made like, okay, this is a dark morph ball, or she's going to do the same thing, but like, nope, they actually like
I
really
want to
went
say
for it.
their Super Smash is also a little varied.
I think so.
I believe so.
I wouldn't doubt it. God, Sakurai is just such a fucking
What a legend.
just absolute freaking
Yeah.
dude.
He made Rick,
Legendary. He made Rick. The greatest
Let him cook.
character. Let him cook, dude. Oh my gosh, guys! I think it was a great pod. Getting to talk about Metroid Prime, I can confidently say that I will be checking out Metroid Prime 4.
Yes.
I'm very excited. Jordan, you've weaved your way into my brain now with these Metroid
I'm
games.
so glad, because it is so like it's flawed. It's not like it's not a 97 for critics. It's not as in my own book. It's not as good as the first Prime, but like it is really good. It's a fun game, like
Yeah.
couple hiccups here and there, but like man, with the hand that they were dealt, taking over the game from another studio and like still trying to like get it out the door,
Salvage it.
in this lifetime, and still manage it to be this good. Like I can't wait to see what they do with the 5th one when they just have it from the beginning and can do their own thing. Like it's gonna be nuts. So
Yeah, I think all things considered, they got dealt this shitty hand, and obviously they got to develop this this mega franchise, and for them to pull it off, like you said, it's awesome. It's really,
Jordan,
really good to see.
can I ask real quick?
yeah,
Do you feel that we will get another Prime in this decade? Or is it going to be another long while?
I think we're gonna see one in the next few years. There's obviously not gonna spoil anything at all, but I mean, just like the first Prime game, like there is hints. There's like they're pointing toward like setting up for a sequel kind of thing, like most games do these days. On top of that, there are I've seen some rumors here and there of like once they gave the keys to the franchise back to Retro Studios, that like they went ahead and started kind of almost like co-developing, like starting to lay some of the groundwork for like a next one after. And I'm inclined to believe that, just because like why would Retro agree to even take it over if it was just going to be to clean up somebody else's mess and then be done with it? Like especially after they did it so well with the first 3 of the games. So like, I fully believe that we'll, if not this year, then maybe next year we'll see it announced, and then another couple years after that we'll see it probably switch to exclusive at that point, I would assume.
I would hope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think the process will just be sped up in general, just because it's they have the skeleton now. Like they have that was the biggest thing, right? It was 15, 18 fucking
18
years or whatever,
18.
between games. So like you missed a ton of different, like you skipped a bunch of just different generations. So they couldn't even just be like how Smash like got plopped from GameCube to Wii to Wii U to Switch, right? Like you couldn't do that. Like you couldn't just take the Wii version and be like, let's just put it on the So I think they definitely could turn it around quicker. And I mean, Nintendo's not they're not the typical big dev where they're like, oh yeah, the game didn't sell well enough, like trash it, it's over. Like what was it, like I think Kirby like outsells Metroid, which is like crazy, and like if you combine all of the Metroid games, they don't even sell as well as like Splatoon 1 or something like that. It's a weird
Metroid should be such a fucking huge franchise. Like I don't understand it.
The entire Metroid franchise, obviously we don't know the sales numbers for 4 yet, but up until Prime 4, the entire franchise combined has sold fewer copies, whatever the grammatical correctness is, than Elden Ring. Okay? Like
oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane, dude.
It is, especially for like a series that is, half of a portmanteau of a very, kind of niche but still pretty dang popular genre. People shutted down Steam trying to get the latest one in September for Silksong. Like, I mean, you don't have Hollow Knight or Silksong without the backbones of like Castlevania and Metroid, and like that whole combined genre. Of course, they do other things as well, and it's not just it's not copy paste. I'm not saying that at all, but like for so many games to like borrow elements of Metroid and Castlevania, and for those two series they're kind of neck and neck. I think Castlevania slightly outsells Metroid, but it's not by much. Like, and for those two to like
the output,
Castlevania has more games and less exclusivity, so that's the only reason. Like,
I think Nintendo is more likely, which I think is the saving grace, because obviously we know in this day and age, anything in the range of a 7 feels like a death sentence for a studio, which is super unfortunate, because some of my, you guys brought up Eidos Montreal, right? And like Guardians of the Galaxy is the most 7 out of 10 game I've ever played, and I fucking adored it, right? So like, you have those 7 out of 10s that you love, like a 10 out of 10. So seeing a 78 on Metacritic after 94, 97, 91, 92, it does concern me a little bit, but I feel like Nintendo is a little bit more likely to roll the dice again. And I think, Eric, to your point, having Retro have it from the inception phase to the finish line might bode really well for it. And I think that they can do something really magic if they get the turnaround time a little bit quicker. You know what I mean? They have the bones, they have the engine, they have the assets, they have all that stuff. Give us another Prime game in the next 5 years. I guarantee you people will like adore it. Just market it, please. God, fucking market it.
I don't know if you all clocked it, as Gianni read earlier. The original trilogy came out within 5 years.
Yeah.
2002, 2004, 2007. That is insane. And for them all to be bangers is also insane. So like, you can't do that anymore with how technology is just
development
skyrocketed and all that. So I don't expect, a full new trilogy by the time it's like 2028 or whatever. But like, I do think we're going to get a next one though. As I can't remember if we brought it up. I don't think we brought it up in this one, but like, Metroid Dread it was the best selling one of the series at like 3.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ceiling so far, and I honestly think that Prime 4 is going to outsell it. Like the way that it was in the top 5, top 10 or whatever for best selling charts leading up to release. The way that the marketing was slightly lackluster, but like it was also in like the top selling charts for like the Switch 2 downloads and all that kind of stuff. Like, and especially with all the praise it got from channels like Digital Foundry that are so focused on the tech and like the visuals and stuff. And it really, I mean, the Prime 4 is the best looking Nintendo game that I've ever seen.
It's super pretty looking. Everything I've seen from it looks great.
Yeah, and the Prime Remaster was probably the best looking Switch game up until
I was going to say, there's two things we didn't touch on. This game, and I don't fucking know how long into the recording we are, but we didn't touch on how beautiful this game looks, and not once did we mention music. The music rips in this game.
Yes, it does.
Because Metroid music always rips.
My only thing with the music, okay, we are running long, but okay,
It's
all
fine.
right.
We're only recording one episode. It's fine.
Here's my thing with the music, you guys.
Oh no.
Kill them
With the
again.
music, guys. 90% of the soundtrack in this game is so good, and it's so like just the synthy like pump of it, like it's so good. There was this one point in the Chozo ruins where it's just going boom ta boom ta boom ta boom ta, and I spent so much time in the Chozo ruins. So like 2 hours went by and it was just boom ta.
Dude, I love that track. Are you kidding me, dude?
And I was like, I got to a point I was like, who quantized this on Fruity Loops and like made
it's just the Goron music, okay? That's all the Chozo Ruins is Goron music.
And then you leave Chozo Ruins and it's like fire again, and I'm like, oh fuck, the soundtrack rips, dude. But
dude,
it's just that one part where I'm just like boom tap, and I'm just like, I'm catching a vibe. But then I was like, damn, it's just like a little drum and a snare for like 3 hours I've been listening to.
Dude, like it. I talked about it whenever I streamed on Dido with Josh riding shotgun. Like there are some like straight up needle drops in Prime 4 that I was like,
Yeah.
There's another thing missing from this game I just remembered that I wanted to bring up. Jordan, they don't have a fucking escape sequence, and I was so bummed.
They
that
do.
there wasn't
It's the opening of the
It's
game.
the opening.
No, but the end, when you beat the final boss, I love that escape sequence because you have everything.
Yeah.
And there wasn't one, and I was so bummed because it even said, like, literally in the
Collapse
text across
imminent.
the screen.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, this is it. And then she just hops on her ship. I was like, what the fuck? Where's my escape sequence? Damn it.
Yeah.
I can finally double jump. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was like, to that point though, the escaping the frigate and then going back to it as it's like crashed and underwater with that music. Come on,
It's good.
It was cool.
come on.
But yeah, I do love that ending. But I guess it does also translate better to like Dread when you're just ripping through the game because you're so fast. Like that's, and I was like, they have to have one in this, right? They have to. But I guess the screw attack is very fucking important to those sequences.
It
I
kind of
think
is,
about it.
and it's once if you look up like a scene, like it doesn't look bad, but it's just like, yeah, like once you kind of see how it looks in 3D and how they have to use it in 3D, it's like it probably wouldn't look that great or play that great after all, actually. So yeah, Nate, play this game.
Eventually.
Jesus Christ.
After my replay of Other Rim, I'll get right to it.
This was all for Nate. This was all for you, Nate.
Yeah, all for you, bud.
This isn't an intervention.
How about this? Everyone that hasn't, go play Dread.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm
play
gonna
it.
go back to Dread for sure.
That final boss is so goddamn good. Like,
so satisfying.
I loved it so much that I loaded it when I beat it the next day. I was living at my in-laws' house at the time. My brother-in-laws were there, and I was like, let me load up the game and show you this. It's insane. And I just went into a flow state and like no-hit it, and they were just like gobsmacked. It was incredible because that boss is so well designed that you can get into a flow state, and it was just go play Dread. That's the this 2 hour long podcast just to go play Dread.
I mean,
And
that is my next step. Like,
Yeah.
and talking about like if we're gonna play more of these games after this, like, I think I'm going Dread before I try Prime 4 after I finish Fusion. But
Please.
I want to see it. I want to see spooky. You can't kill me, Emmys.
Yeah. And for anyone who may be concerned, who's either on this panel or listening, there is like it catches you up to speed. But like at the very start of Dread, there's like a 2-minute like thing that catches you up. Like, this is what's happened for Samus up to this point, and that's all you need to know. That's how you read
There's also rookie mode where you're
yes, there is.
invincible.
Yep. They are really good with the difficulty options in Dread.
Yeah. Not at launch. that was later, but still.
I think it was to their credit. I think it was like a pretty quick. It was like within a couple months. It wasn't like
it was quick.
It wasn't Animal Crossing. Like, oh, here's 6 years later. Here's a Zelda outfit.
Whoops.
I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I was like, we don't
That
shit
also-
on Animal Crossing right now. They gave us so much right now.
Oh. Well, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you so much.
Well, one
for,
more thing. It's like
Yeah,
Jordan, I gotta go.
he's going on vacation.
Well, I gotta leave. Here's the deal.
I was just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Here's the deal. The next Metro, maybe Dread becomes the next project.
Or Fusion.
I don't know.
Everybody
Or
can play
Fusion.
Fusion. I'd be down
Or
to
Prime
replay
4.
Fusion.
I don't know.
Or Prime 4. I think
gonna hold off on
I
that
think
Or
I'll
Other
probably
End?
hit Prime 4 before I go back to Dread. Other End for Nate. There you go.
There you go.
How about we each get one and we all reconvene? I think that.
There we go. It's like a book club where we all read one chapter.
Oh, that's a real shame.
Yeah.
Jordan has to play Federation Force.
Yeah,
There we go.
he has to play one he hasn't played.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can do
man.
Zero Mission. I haven't gotten far in that one.
But thank you guys for joining today for the Metroid conversation. It was really eye-opening, and I'm glad we got some value out of the Metroid Prime replay, first play, long play, no play for some. There's clearly so much juice left in the Metroid franchise, and I'm sure we'll all be checking it out here in the months to come. But I do got to get out of here. I got to pack for a trip, homies. I'm an international jet setter. I got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Before we get out of here, I always like to say, where can the people find you? What are you up to? What are you working on? Is Avowed video coming out before GTA 6? All those kind of questions.
Shots fired. Wow.
Philium, get on it.
Phil, we'll start with you.
Oh my god!
Wow.
He was working on it yesterday.
Destroyed. I've been working on it all week.
You've been working on it all year.
I know you're working hard, sweetie.
Literally
You're
all
working hard.
year. Yeah, thanks.
Well.
Thanks. Hey, it's a motion picture at this point.
Phil, we'll start with you, buddy.
Yeah, you can find all my stuff at 70percentcomplete.com. Website for blogs, articles, stuff like that. I have some stuff. We're finally kicking off the year. I have been obviously quite sick for the entire fucking year. So we're starting slow. Avowed video targeted for February? Maybe.
I'm going to love watching that in April.
I'm gonna be seated, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
April. In April.
Yeah, not even March. Brutal. Brutal.
Give 'em
But yeah,
gap month.
you can catch all my stuff there, and subscribe to the YouTube for Avowed when it comes out, and hopefully it won't take me another 7 months to put out a video.
It's hard on these.
It's
screens,
like
man.
it's like Metroid development times, dude. Once you get
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
one
He
out
had
the
he
way,
did
yeah,
start
yeah,
he
yeah.
did that's actually very apt because he did learn a completely new function in DaVinci
Yeah.
that started
true.
the whole fucking
Yeah.
process over.
Yep. It's a process. We're
Yeah.
getting there.
Exactly. Eric, what about you? Where can the people find you? What are you up to?
Mr. the Human on most things. Mr. the Human plays on Twitch. I dual stream now, so if you're not a fan of Twitch for whatever reason, I'm on YouTube as well now too. Mondays, Umas, as always. Y'all are there already. If you're listening to this podcast, I appreciate you. You are all there. And then we're trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do on those extra days. I have some stuff in the works. At the time of recording, the tomorrow I'll be streaming Animal Crossing, and if that goes well, maybe I just stream Animal Crossing and Uma Musume and just become a cozy gamer for the rest of 2026.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. But come join the Corner of the Internet Discord. By the time this is out, probably we'll also have probably in a week after this comes out will be the first episode of Short Game Long Talk, where we played Duck Detective: The Secret Salami. Incredible fucking game. Go play that. 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Johnny, you'd get a kick out of it if you ever need a Monday morning game. It's a good time. It's a good time.
I'll put Duck Detective, what is it? Swimming salami? What is it?
Secret
Salami. I will put that on the backlog.
It's a good game, I promise.
I will check it out.
It's a good game.
Nate, what about you? Where can the people find you? What are you up to?
Heroic headgear everywhere. I'm doing some Fallout right now, so I am crafting a NCR Ranger helmet and then playing through the Fallout New Vegas DLCs. I'm about to finish Honest Hearts, and then we're starting Lonesome Road. And I think by the way things are trekking along, the helmet will be done by probably first week of February. April. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course, that's a helmet giveaway. So anyone that's in any of those streams are open to win it.
Yes. Join that giveaway. One day I'll win something. Maybe not for this one, but one day.
One day.
Cross my fingers.
One day.
Last but not least, Jordan, a.k.a. Cognitive Clips. Where can the people find you? What are you up to?
Yeah, YouTube is youtube.com/@cognitiveclips, all one word. I again, as we talked about a couple times, I just put up an essay about design language with Metro Prime 4 and Blueprints. Actually, this is breaking news, so I'll write it on the panel. Just before recording tonight, I actually recorded my very first unscripted video where I was just spitballing about my top 10 for the year, which is very super timely as we're halfway through January. But 2025 is still pretty close, right?
Yeah.
We're still writing the wrong date every once in a while. So that'll be up.
Were you about to make a joke about checkbooks?
No.
Okay.
just writing the date down for any reason.
Okay. That's the only reason I write dates down.
I have to write dates a lot for my job on paper.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, other than that, I'm also, again, regular on Drop In, Drop Out, one of the co-hosts. So if you go to dropindropoutpod.com, they'll have the links to not only the main show, but also my YouTube channel, Jake Twitchin's Twitch channel, JK Games Podcast, Spotlight Games Podcast. Everybody's links are up on that website. So it's a nice one-stop shop for you.
Yes, absolutely. Join the Corner of the Internet Discord with all the homies here that you see on screen. Join the Drop In, Drop Out Discord where I met all these homies. So that's where all this magic... I'm still dropping in and I'm dropping out. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So make sure you go join both of those Discords. Jordan, thank you so much for joining today and being the very first guest on the Content Mill.
It's been an honor and a privilege. Really enjoyed being here, guys.
Appreciate you, big dog. And if you don't know already, my name is Gianni. You can find me at Gianni DeCrossa. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Threads. You can find me on Blue Sky. Anywhere you're at, I'm there as well. I am currently on vacation, so I'm not doing anything right now. But when I get back, I will be starting my first playthrough of Dark Souls 2 on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also go check me out on YouTube where all my long form content is at. Just dropped my Game of the Year video. It got a little spicy there towards the end, but I'm sure you're gonna really like it. Also some new content coming on my YouTube channel, a little bit of a pivot here in the coming months, so I'm really excited to start rolling that stuff out. I don't want to give away too much yet, but be sure to lock in on my YouTube channel as well for all of my long form reviews, previews, and impressions. Fellas, it has been an honor, it has been a privilege, and I shall see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I would like to close out on some wisdom here from the Halls Corporation, our sponsor for this episode.
Please, Phil. Yes.